Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to the Silent Age. Let us continue. It is rather amazing that we're up to Act 7 of 10, and it's just been so straightforward. No twists, no turns, amazingly simple solutions and puzzles. Uh, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Do all point and click adventure games need to be super difficult? Maybe they do in my mind. I've never had one be this quick. I think the problem is if you make an easy point and click adventure game, you're going to have exactly what we're having here, a very quick experience. Just like run right through it. I think also this game is missing any kind of like side games. We haven't seen any other puzzles. We haven't seen simple things that could have been added, like a pipe game, a match 2 game, peg jumping over pegs style game. Anything else besides just finding objects. We never had to like figure out the combination of a safe. We just found the combination to a safe. There's definitely places here you could have added more game into your game, and they didn't. Anywho, get over that route. We'll start Chapter 7, the house. After crossing the water, breaking down barriers, and outwitting an unfriendly wildlife, Joe has gained entrance to Lambert's house. Now all that's left is to confront him. What could possibly go wrong? So, we are in the past, and we are looking for for the past Lambert to warn him about getting shot. Uh, One thing that could happen here that would be an interesting twist, but probably wouldn't be, is that he is Lambert, and so he simply uh, finds nobody here, or Lambert's somebody else who's untrustworthy. I don't know. We'll just restart and see what happens. Probably gonna be another quick one, if it's like any of the past 4 or 5 of them. So, Chapter 7, the house. Our time travel device is out of power again, and probably won't be charged until it's sun up. So I'm not sure we're even going to get that again. So kind of like the middle of the game is the only time we had a non-stop ability to go back and forth. Not even very consistent with the ideas. Here's some abstract paintings we can look at. It's a triangle made of cubes going in circles. Hmm. We're going in circles. I better stop looking at this before I strain something. He chainsawed this door open. This figure is impossible. Surprised he even figured that out. Hmm. I feel like there's gotta be an achievement for looking at all the art. Let's look at the lamp. It's a lamp. Man, the response time for clicking on that. Nothing here except a box of matches. So we'll grab them. These could come in handy. Oh, there's only one left in the box. Knickknacks, doodads, paper clips, nothing I can use. Lambert may be a fan of the drink with all these bottles around, but there could be decoration too. You could have had a decorator go to an antique store or do it yourself and not even drink that much or any. That's kind of 60s, 70s style design. What was this one? It's a drawing that doesn't make a lick of sense. What does Lambert get out of this stuff? It's a triangle, but it's going in circles. What a weird way to describe it. Here's another abstract painting. It's a painting of a bunch of stacked cubes. I can't tell which one is on top. They all seem to be. It's messing with my eyes and my head. It's a painting of a bunch of stacked cubes. I actually can't tell which one is at top. They all seem to be. So we go through the door and let's see what happens. We're in another room with some more abstract stuff. Abstract art. Nothing in here of any interest. Starburst clock, very 60s. That guy sure has style. It's full of stars. Like, my grandfather had one of these clocks. Uh, let's see. Let's look at this abstract painting. There's no curve in it, but it's going in circles. No matter how many times I walk those steps with my eyes, they always end up in the same place. Lambert really seems to have a thing for never-ending stuff. Yeah, they're trying to be thematic here. Notice there's also a dust print on a gun. So am I gonna just get shot? That would be ridiculous. If I get shot, then why would I look like Lambert? It's pretty dark in here, but I'm positive these are all the same book. Really thick ones too. I doubt that Lambert will miss a few. Why would you have the same book? Just by the thickness of most of these, I can tell they aren't for me. For some reason, he's got a lot of copies of the same book though. But I can't see what it is. Here we go. Books in the fireplace. Match in the fireplace. There we go. Nice light. Dust print. Looks like there used to be a rifle mounted here. I'm not big on guns, but I sure could use one back there with that scaly beast. Looks like there used to be a rifle mounted here. Warm and cozy. You just burned books. That's really nice. Look at this bookshelf. Piles and piles of books. This game has been very focused on finding light sources for too many puzzles. What's this one? I can barely make it out, but it looks like the other paintings in here. Everything ends up in the same place over and over again. I don't even. So it's like too dark in here. The lights are out. And it looks like there's a rug I can click on.
Nice.
And a piano I can click on. Let's hit the piano. We moved the rug, but we didn't pick it up. Very classy. I wish I knew how to play. I never had piano lessons growing up, but I did play a mean kazoo. Very classy. Alright, so I think we've done everything here. Probably couldn't have picked up the rug until we started the fire. It's a trap door. Yeah. No handle. Not even a place to put one. So we've got to figure out what would we do to open that trapdoor. See, we don't have anything. Let's take that wine opener. That'll work. Wow. So, amazingly, they managed to have the standard problem with point-and-click adventure games. A tiny object that is barely but a few pixels big that you would have to click all over the place if you couldn't see it. And I did miss it the first time. Luckily, I saw it the second time. Otherwise, I was very confused as far what the rest of this quest was going to require me to do. And then the screen is over here at the full length. It seems strange. Sometimes it's just a square, and sometimes it's a full length panning room, depending on the actual size of the room. I think they should play a little bit fast and looser with their area designs. It worked. The ladder leading down to the basement is open. Good. So have all the rooms be really far so they fit the whole screen size. Well, this looks like some kind of puzzle. Are we gonna really end up doing a puzzle? There's a lot of wine just for one guy. Okay. Yeah, but that could be a lifetime supply too. There's a bottle missing, and it looks like it's a secret thing too. The door's locked, but it doesn't feel too solid. Here's like a floor plan of the house. Looks like floor plans for the house with handwritten notes. It seems Lambert is planning a lot of renovations. All these changes make it look more like a bomb shelter than a house. Looks like. So he was preparing for the end. Is there anything else in this room? Nope. Are we gonna meet up with Lambert? Nope. He's not here either. Take the tanning bulb. I guess even scientists want to look their best. Let's look at the shelf. These shelves are full of electronic parts, which will be no use to me. I wonder how he managed to haul all this stuff out here. Good point. Let's see. Let's look at this. These blueprints are for a time machine. It doesn't exactly have an engineering degree, but it says so on the drawing. Lots of big words and numbers here, but the drawings are really cool. The blueprint. So, let's think for a second. Maybe Lambert is this guy, and he just had to take 40 years of educating himself how to build a time machine from this point to actually be able to use this time machine to go back in time to get shot, to give himself the small time machine. Because there is a difference here. It's like you've got this giant spherical object for a time machine versus this little pocket watch. Maybe they work together, yes, but maybe, just maybe, it's all his doing. He goes from average Joe to genius based on just these blueprints that he found. That would be paradoxical, and very kind of unlikely. I have a hard time believing that Joe at his age would even in 40 years be able and determined enough to build a time machine, uh, even with a lot of help. I mean, he would just, I guess, have to follow blueprints if the blueprints really work, but it would be paradoxical. Of course, the way you can always get into a paradox is in the first timeline, this guy would have actually just stumbled onto this stuff without running into the time travel guy. Or maybe in the first timeline there was a Lambert and he's just not actually in any of the next timelines. Let's look at the spherical contraption. Very science-y. I've never seen anything like this. It looks like a diving bell or a submarine.
Far out.
Far out. Looks like those blueprints on the wall. This is Lambert's time machine. Looks nothing like mine. So I feel like there's an achievement to get him to say far out a lot of times. It's another time machine, an earlier version maybe. Never seen anything like this. Okay, so we've gone through everything here. And trash can. Well, I am a trash man, so it would make sense to get back to our roots here and look in the trash can. Man, I've been doing this job too long. I can't even walk by a trash can anymore without checking if it needs emptying. Thankfully, it's empty. There's nothing in it. Alright. I've had my fun with the trash can. Probably some kind of an achievement there too. So, do I put the light bulb in the shelf? That would be a little weird. It doesn't work. Yeah, even Even I thought that was a little too strange of a thought. And but if I have the sun lamp now and I can find a place to put it, maybe I could charge the uh, time machine with the sun lamp. I just need to find a place to put this light bulb. Hmm. Since our time machine is solar powered, here's a lamp. So put this with the lamp, the tanning bulb, and now the time travel device. Hey, my time machine is working again. Alright. So then the question then becomes, where do I use it? Let's just use it here. Alright. We can get back. There's an axe in there. I can't reach it from here though. There's some tough vines, so I have to get through the vines. Here's the broken door. I need to get to Lambert. Inside is my best bet. Here's the picture burnt. Well, not burnt, but torn. So an axe, it's stuck. So this is charged again, but dangers everywhere, because if I use it here, let's see what happens. We can get back. Anywhere I end up that has sunlight, I'm so fine. So here's a barrel. It's an empty barrel. It looks like he's got a water reclamation system going on and growing plants. That's probably too small of a barrel. Some water collection system. I guess that's what you'd call it from the 60s. You must use this to water the plants. The tank sounds full. That's not enough to water plants. Raised beds. Vegetables. This must be how he survived for so long. The crops look amazing. Is there nothing this guy can't do? See, I would like that twist that this all turned out that it was him. He is Lambert. Looks like it's been a long time since it was used. It's been a while since it saw any use. But here you see a windmill that might be producing electricity or pumping water. Here's a twig. A dry twig. I guess I've put stranger things to good use. Everything else is just raised beds, so he just pushed the piano out of here and turned it into something else, and you see it's all open air now. Use the twig on this. That's not gonna work apparently. Twig with the trapdoor. This isn't working, yeah. I figured that. So, back we go. Looks like the time travel device is still charged. So, I guess I only had to recharge it once and then it's good for several uses. Let's swap here. Everything has been really redone. Take the fire extinguisher. This is a lot lighter than I thought it would be. Oh wait, it's one of those extinguishers that needs to be filled up with water first. Interesting, so we'd have to go back up. There's a lock on it now. Shelves. There's enough food in here to survive for a month. So, with a time machine you could take all this stuff back into the past with you. Maybe make a paradox in that. So, through this door. This wasn't here before. Yep. There is light down here. It's locked. And didn't this door used to be wood? Yep. And this door is all steel now. I guess Lambert did the work on the place. That it's weird too because it's after the event has happened. He would put steel doors in and all of that. That indicates a prolonged experience of just having to fight off like survivors and such. We'll switch here. What's in the oil drum? Got the lid off, it's full of oil. I'll use some oil with the fire extinguisher. Turn the fire extinguisher flammable. Brilliant. You outdid yourself this time, Joe. In fact, you better start writing your Nobel Prize acceptance speech because this is some top shelf thinking. Did he really do it, or was he just being joking? I think he really did it. Small dark room over here, red bulb, photo equipment, developer, it's got everything. This equipment you kind of see in stores, it looks really expensive. This is not something you use for family photos. I wonder what Lambert uses it for. Alright. So here's the sphere finished. It's a bunch of drawings and floor plans of a big building. Wait, I recognize it. It's my workplace. This is Archon. Yeah, we've been so far away from Archon. The thought is, I guess, that Archon causes the infection or something, spreads the disease, maybe? Or does Archon make the time travel? I don't know. The Mark II, it's a drawing, is really complicated, but the outline looks a lot like the machine I have. So Mark 1 is this, Mark 2 is that. That's quite a shrinking of the size of an object. Wow, this looks really something. According to those blueprints, this was Lembert's first version of the time machine. It looks completely abandoned, though. Can we unlock the door? Strange, I'm pretty sure this door used to be wood. It's all steel now. It's locked, and you can't get out. It's gonna take ages to get through this. Well, not if I can instead burn down this door. So if we use this with this, the wood isn't catching fire. I need some way to make it a bit more flammable. This with this. Extinguisher's out of water. Besides, it's just starting to warm up here. Let's see. So maybe I needed to put the stick in there. Water with the barrel. Now it's full with water. See, that makes a lot more sense. And then fly back this direction. And then we'll go get to the oil bucket. Dip the stick in the oil button. Come here in the oil bucket. And then come back and start it on fire. Then go into the future. So this with this. The twig's all oily now. Got it. This up here. At least I'm proceeding with somewhat proper fire safety measures. Although don't start a fire might be the very first thing you should learn in any kind of safety precautionary education. It's rule one: don't start a fire. Rule two: control the fire if you do start a fire. Alright, so now we go here and burn the vines. Let's get over here and then fire extinguisher with the vines. Pew, it's out. I think I'm done with playing with fire for today. So now we've got the axe. I'll get stuck in there pretty good, but I got it. So I could chop down this door. Of course, that's not the door I need to chop down. There's no need for that when I've got a perfectly good time machine right here. Fair enough. Too many wooden doors for this scheme. Yeah, in about 30 minutes we're gonna be done. The gun is scary though. Definitely scary. This, with this, like, why wouldn't you shoot this guy if you had a gun and he just axed through your door after chainsawing through your front door? I think it would be very reasonable to think he's a madman and shoot without asking him more questions. There's a couple small trees. I wonder if Lambert keeps them alive down here. He must be very green thumbs. I don't know what kind of plant they are. They just look like little trees to me. Let's look at this art. No matter how many times I walk those steps with my eyes, they're always in the same place. So same response as we've seen with other abstract art. Paintings hurt my head. This one's different though. Pretty. This is the only painting he likes. It's a dried flower, a rose of some kind. Still very pretty. Alright, enough of that. I can't keep pushing up roses. Pretty. So 5 responses on that. That's interesting. So that's a pressed rose, like an actual rose that was pressed into a book and flattened. His bed is hard as a rock. Can't be good for a guy his age. He's got stuffed in the mattress a slab of concrete. Alright. What's on the shelves? Couple of notebooks here. March 11, 1971. I prepared a logbook to document my progress. This is just in case something happens to me and someone else needs to continue my work. See, he's even done it. It's just been under a month since I left Archon. From what little I've heard, they seem to be pushing ahead with more time travel trials, despite all the setbacks. Fools. So Archon was working on time travel. I bet Lambert is gone. Lambert is the right way to pronounce it. June 16, preliminary plans for my own homegrown version of the IPMCI. The IPMCI will henceforth be referred to as the Time Machine. Should anyone in 3 years complete my own. So it takes him 3 years to complete his own, he thinks. Let's look at the globe. I'm no astronomer, I'm pretty sure that's the moon up there. It's a pretty neat globe. Why would you want a globe of the moon? The moon is locked to the earth. You wouldn't even see the other side ever. So, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Here's an aquarium with an incredibly smaller fish than what we saw before. Somebody's take good care of these fish. Lambert has to be around here. He looks a lot like the fish I fed to the monstrosity outside. Now feel really bad for the little guy. He looks a little lonely. Listen, but if I come across a miniature castle or a little diver with a treasure chest, they're yours. Deal? Somebody's... Okay, so we've gone the full circle there. Well, the last place to look, well, we can look at the lava lamp at least, is here in the future. It's a lava lamp. Man, do I love those. So we take the lava lamp with us? Okay. And here we are in the future. So now the bed has been just put on the floor. Probably pretty grumpy if I slept on a bed this hard every night. How's the plant doing? It's another small plant. It's locked. Everything's locked from both sides. And the notebook. June, no progress this week. 2 months of cold nights since the imbecile broke my bedroom door, and last night I felt I nearly got mauled by a bear, so I finally cared for it. I'd like to see him blunder his way through these. Still, I must admit, he gives me entirely new meaning of the term idiot proof. So he's aware of your actions and trying to stop you, but does he know who you are or your goals? Probably not. This one is dated this. It's the math. There's simply no fighting it. No way in hell am I going to be able to reliably generate 1.21 gigawatts required. I'm scrapping it. The whole thing. Time to start over. I'm going in circles. Everything keeps bringing me back to the handheld device the idiot showed me. How in blazes did I accomplish that? So I do show him at some point. October 21st, 1963. Success. Using the salvaged photo equipment I scavenged in March, I've reduced the size of the circuits in the fabrication process. Once I redesign and reproduce the results of the components, this thing should be able to run off a moderately sized diesel generator. So how does it run off solar power? It doesn't feel like Lambert is smart enough to build this device, even being shown this device. Here's the one from 19. Well, here we are. Truth be told, I never imagined I'd be celebrating the turn of the millennium with some godforsaken pile of dirt in the middle of a swamp. I've never been one for parties, but given the chance, I'd give anything to make an ass of myself with a lampshade at some social gathering right now, rather than savoring the last moments of the year over yet another cabbage dinner and the last bottle of cheap Merlot. Hmm. No progress this week. So 72 is when I broke the door. So here's the big reveal, I'm sure. We plug it in and we find the skeleton. Wow, trippy. No, no skeleton, just a wine bottle. That's weird. I don't think this bottle is made of glass. Even the cork seems painted on. Hmm. Interesting. So, as we come through here, we know there's a door here in the future, so let's put this here and open some secret passage. Far out, there's a secret passage behind the shelves. That's what I figured. And let's walk to the door because we can't click on anything and see what happens.
Stop right there.
That's what I figured.
Whoa, wait. Mr. Lambert, sir, it's me, Joe.
I don't know you. What are you doing in my house?
You sent me here, remember?
I've done no such thing. For an intruder, you're not very bright, you know that? For all the commotion you caused getting in here, you might as well have brought a bulldozer.
It's true.
Now, you have exactly 5 seconds to explain what you're doing here. Or so help me God, I'm pulling this trigger and sending you on your way. 5.
I was sent here.
4.
I think it's time to use the time travel.
3.
You told me to find you, to warn you about the end of the world.
2.
You were old, with white hair, and you got shot. Oh, God, please don't shoot me, Mr. Lambert. You gave me this. It's an
I tried to use it.
chrono.
Didn't
It's a
work.
time machine.
I gave you that?
Yes!
I've never seen anything like it. But on the back, that's my family signet. I made this? It's simply magnificent. I gave this to you? Why? Who are you?
Name's Joe, sir. I'm just a janitor at the Archon building. I found you in a room with a big, round door in the basement labs this morning, and you were dying. You said you'd come from 40 years in the future to stop the end of the world. I guess I was the only one around, so you gave me this and told me to find you and tell you all this, and I've been there. The future, I mean. A bunch of times. And you were right, Mr. Lambert. Everyone's gone.
My God, so it did come to pass. They really did it, those greedy goddamn bastards. I told them this would happen. Wait, I was dying? How?
You said you've been shot. I had to actually find you at the morgue to get this address.
Shot? By whom? No, wait. Don't say anything else. You succeeded in finding me, which means anything you tell me from this point on could alter the course of action that brought you to my doorstep. The less I know, the better. So, you've seen the future. What did you see?
Yeah, but me telling him any
It's like a
information
bad dream,
at all
sir.
does that.
Everyone's gone. Buildings are coming apart. It's all just quiet. What happened, Mr. Lambert?
It is Dr. Lambert. And considering all the effort you just went through to find me, not to mention bearing witness to the horrific outcome of the biggest breakthrough in the history of science, I suppose I owe you some kind of explanation. I was 24 when I got hired by Archon, or Athena as it was called back then. Athena was one of the many weapons R&D companies formed during the Second World War. Unlike other R&D companies that had retooled themselves to pursue peacetime activities after the war, Athena had made enough money to continue chasing the next big thing in defense technologies. They were betting the farm on post-war Soviet expansion, raising the level of government paranoia to create a lucrative market for esoteric weapons research.
A lot of dialogue here, a lot of story,
I'd
all
say
in one
they
place.
made the right bet. Still a theoretical physicist at MIT, my thesis on the possibility of time travel via dimensional membranes got published shortly after I was hired in 1961. Company heads were so impressed, they gave me a team and a budget. Development exceeded even my own expectations. And after only 6 years, we had the first primitive version of the time machine up and running.
And what do they do?
Our first successful trials involved sending simple objects into the future with a timed return. But with Archon running out of money, that was all the company bigwigs needed to secure a big fat contract with the Department of
Remember there was a
Defense.
cryogenics section
Apparently,
in the basement
they'd
too.
sold them on the idea that the technology could be used to go back in time and strangle communism in its cradle. The reality, of course, was that it couldn't. Due to the laws of causality, you can't travel back in time beyond the point where time travel was invented. And sooner or later, we had to explain that to our benefactors. When they started pushing for progress reports,
I don't understand
Archon
that logic,
management
but
had to
okay.
come clean, but instead chose to ease government concerns by claiming the technology could be used to bring back advanced weapons from the future. But this too was a lie.
So when we think back to the first section, there was like a hole in the elevator
At
that
this
was
point,
open.
we'd already had our first of many
I
human
bet there was
trials,
somebody
and
there.
we knew there would be no weapons. In fact, our results were as terrifying as they were baffling. Time pilots returned frenzied and confused, raving about empty streets and human remains. At first, we assumed the city had suffered a Soviet attack in the near future and had been evacuated as a result. But as we pushed on further, the terrible reality became clear. Time pilots started returning fatally ill, dying within a day or two from painful convulsions. Some never returned. We lost several pilots, machine prototypes, and other equipment. When the first contamination erupted in the lab, we were completely unprepared, losing 3 lab technicians to what we later identified as an incredibly aggressive airborne virus.
Wow, this is a lot of story all at the same time.
Although we weren't equipped to handle biohazards of this magnitude, management insisted we contain and study it. To keep our pilots and the virus alive long enough to study, we co-opted experimental cryotechnology from another project, Lazarus, and established a makeshift virus lab. Once again, the bigwigs managed to spin our setbacks into a success story for the Department of Defense, now claiming that the virus could be cultivated for use as a biological weapon. The team threatened to resign, but outrage was swiftly quenched by promises of massive salary increases and stock options.
More than I got when I got a
I
raise.
didn't take the bribe.
I mean, when I
witnessed
got
the lethal
given twice the
efficiency of
work.
the virus firsthand. I knew there was only one way this was going to
So,
end.
what happened
So I
to
handed in my
Fred?
resignation and set up shop out here. For over a year, I've been working to recreate the technology to bring me back in time and prevent mankind's extinction from ever happening.
So, he can only go
And
back,
now you're here,
according to the
the
story,
harbinger of doom at my doorstep,
to
wearing a boiler suit. Who could have imagined that Judgment Day would begin like any other Monday in May?
May.
In any case, unfathomable as it may be,
It was
you were able
January.
to bring this information to me. Knowing is only half the battle. Preventing the outbreak will require more than just your tenacity.
Me? Wait, what?
Yes, I'm afraid I must rely on you one more time. You must go back to Archon and prevent the outbreak.
No, that's, I mean, I'm really honored and everything, but...
Believe me, you're the last person in the world I want to entrust with this, and I mean that quite literally. But by this time tomorrow, the entire city will have succumbed to chaos, panic, and death. You're here now, and you're all I've got.
Wait, but what about you? Can't you fix this, Doc? Don't you have a plan?
I can't go myself, because that would break the law of causality. The only reason you are here to warn me now is because I was there to send you. And the only reason I was there to send you is because I was able to bring my work to fruition here.
But...
We've no time to waste. It's the only way. You told me you found me this morning, correct?
yes, but...
That means I failed to stop it, and the outbreak has already begun. The time pilot for today's trial must have brought the virus back from the future, which then somehow got out of the containment chamber and spread. That pilot is Patient Zero. I need you to destroy the supercomputer system controlling the time machine. All the research data is stored there too. You must destroy it before the time machine departs. I'm reconfiguring your device to send you back 1 day earlier. This should allow you ample time to return to Archon and get inside. On the other shore from here, about 500 yards down the road, is a rest stop. You'll find a van there, fueled and ready to go.
Oh, I already have a ride.
Which won't be there yesterday, you ninny. Now stop interrupting me. One last thing, and I need you to listen carefully because this is very, very important. Make sure you do not meet the earlier version of you.
Why? What will happen?
No one knows for sure. It's one of the conundrums not yet accounted for. There are theories, of course. None of them pleasant. Now, let's get you ready.
So that was 45 minutes, and we still got another cutscene here.
How did I get myself into this? I nearly got killed trying to reach Dr. Lambert thinking he had a plan. And it turns out it's me. I'm the plan. At least
Why
I
would
don't
you
have
want
to
to
walk
skip
back.
this?
This van's not as cool as the ambulance, but it has its charm. And it sure was nice of him to pack me lunch. I wish he'd pack me a can opener for the beans, though. And some gas for the Bunsen burner. But I'm sure I'll think of something. I've got several hours of driving ahead of me.
Is he gonna give us a chapter
before
just
the
trying to make lunch, finding a can opener and gas for the Bunsen burner? That would be really silly. The night before. So, Chapter 8, Outside Archon. Yeah, why have this section go for 45 minutes when you could have put some story in the couple of 18-minute sections and spread it out a little bit more so you kind of knew what was going on? It seems like the story is very committed to Joe being so uninformed, so just not with what's happening. It seems very strange. On top of that, it's like weird. Just the whole thing is weird. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like they're using causality as this excuse for why things won't work the other way. His logic makes no sense. It's like this will be able to change time in this instance because we won't violate causality, but if we do it this way, we will violate causality. Don't tell me any more information because it will change my actions, but immediately I'm going to ask you a question for more information. It's just it's not consistent. It's inconsistent logic. uh, I still heavily think that Joe here is the patient zero. We haven't seen anything about the San Francisco 8 either. He said it was a day in May. The calendar said 0107. So that's not May, that's January 7th. Or if you had it the other way around, as they do in Europe, that would be either like July. Yeah, July 1st. Either way, yeah, I don't think July the 1st would be the right one. Or maybe June the 1st. No, it's July 7th month, I think. I don't know. I never got the numbers of months down in my head. It's a small thing I never learned in school. It turned out you don't really need to memorize that too much now with cell phones. Anyways, that has nothing to do with the game. So that's wrong too. Just a few, they feel like mistakes. They don't feel like they're hinting at anything, and I don't think they're going to pay off, these small mistakes. Anywho, we've been going long enough, so that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.